Hey, hello, I'm Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Riser Fall to talk about Beastie's Boomers, aka some MLB DFS for today, Thursday, May 19th. Before I bring in the study hub and dig into my favorite stack of the day, let's do a few things briefly. Make sure you go to the website, like, share, and subscribe. While you're there, use promo code Beastie. I know I'm going to bring in the study hub, and that's a premium option, but it's relatively cheap if you use promo code Beastie. You get $10 off your first month of premium services here. And I'm telling you, as we dig through this thing, it's going to become more special and more special as we go. On an overall outlook, it's a pretty light baseball day. It's a pretty light sports day in general. Only 2 hockey games, 1 basketball game, and there's 8 games total all day. But that sucker locks at about 12:30 p.m. But main slate is what I want to discuss. That's 3 games, locks at 7:10. So let's bring in the study hub. Let's dig in, and we'll get you in and out, okay? Here we go. There is the study hub in all of its glory here. And I left it, first few days, I honed it in right on my favorite stack of the day. But today, it's everything you got here. All the games. I'm sure you've seen the tutorials. You don't need like a course rundown here. This isn't a college class. This is a DFS video. So let's go right to Texas in Houston. And let's talk about this game because I'm telling you now, the Houston Astros are going to go absolutely nuts here. And I want to start with, the first 4 guys. We stacked them the other day, right? And they went absolutely nuts. I think they hit 5 home runs in the first, in 1 inning. And when you look at this, I'm going to slide over to the FanDuel batter matchups. That's what I want to talk about. And I guess what we'll do is I'll do two batting matchups from FanDuel and 2 batting matchups from DraftKings. I don't know if it's clear, but Glenn Otto is pitching for Texas while Framber Valdez is pitching for Houston here. And it might be kind of a home run derby here for the Houston Texans. I want to start with Yordan Alvarez. When you look at him here, left-handed bat. Yordan 4-5 on FanDuel, only $5,200 on DraftKings. And when we slide all the way over here, I mean, it's not Alex Bregman per se, but he's going to be in on this. Look at Yordan Alvarez, A tier and a C value, and that's okay. And I need to make something up to you. I don't know if you guys or girls know any of this, but yesterday I was kind of skunked and it was my own fault and I felt like a fool. I said, oh yeah, this is ISO, K percentage, swinging strike rate, and OBA, WOBA here. And when you look at that, and I went to the navigation key right here and I felt like a fool. Nothing popped up. I was going to bring up the legend here at Team Riser Fall, which they do. It's the glossary, not the navigation, like a dummy. And here it is, everything you need to know about this stuff. I want to talk about ISO briefly, ISO and WOBA here. So let's talk about ISO briefly. As I said, ISO, it's the measure of raw power of a hitter by only taking extra base hits and those type of extra base hits into account. For example, a player who goes 1 for 5 with a double has an ISO of only 200. A player who goes 2 for 5 with a single and a double has a higher batting average than the first player. There's a whole formula to it. It's math. I'm not a big math whiz, but here we are. So when we look at the ISO for Yordan Alvarez here, 278. That is pretty solid because that means he's having multi-hit games and they're all over the field. He's not 4 for 5 with 4 singles, although that would still be sweet here. But Yordan Alvarez's ISO 278. And so when you focus on why I'll tell you why ISO is useful in this setting here, because ISO, it strictly focuses on extra base hits. ISO can help evaluate the raw power a player has. And I'm telling you now, when you look at Yordan Alvarez, this guy's got nothing but raw power. He's got 12 home runs so far this season, and he's walked 19 times. So this guy gets on base, and damn straight, he's batting cleanup here. When we go down, I'll leave Jose Altuve and Kyle Tucker for the DraftKings side of things. But when we look at Alex Bregman, I want to talk about his WOBA, however you want to put it, 370. Let's go to the glossary and let's do a little not a history lesson, but just to explain it to you, because I've been thinking about this all day. I screwed up big time. OBA, it's a version of on-base percentage that accounts for how a player has reached base, instead of simply considering whether a player reached base. The value for each method of reaching base is determined by how much that event is worth in relation to projected runs scored. Example, a double is worth more than a single. That's pretty easy peasy. And why is it useful? Unlike on-base percentage and OPS, on-base plus slugging, WOBA assigns value to each method of reaching base in terms of its impact on scoring here. So when you look at Alex Bregman here and his OBA, 179, you'd like to see it a little bit higher. I mean, when we start, not shaving points per se, but looking at percentages and stuff, Bregman gets it done. Let's look at Bregman. He's 3.6 on FanDuel, 5.4 on DraftKings. And when Bregman, when he's got it going on, he's one of the best in the game. 20 runs, 22 RBI, 5 bombs, and this guy's taken 24 bases on balls. So let's go down here and let's go bring it back to what we were working on here. Now let's get this video done. We'll hammer it home. We'll go over Jose Altuve and Kyle Tucker, who I both absolutely love tonight against Glenn Otto. But let's do it from a DraftKings batter perspective, if you don't mind. I know a lot of you are all on DraftKings, all on whatever it is, but let's look at some projections for Jose Altuve. And I forgot to do this. See, we go to DraftKings, it resets. We have to go to and just hammer home or just solidify that one game here. So let's talk about Jose Altuve briefly. $4,000 on FanDuel, whatever. 5.4 on DraftKings here. And by the way, shout out to CG. He updated this thing, early this morning while a lot of folks were in bed. And when we go down here, look at Altuve's his tier ranking. It's an A. His value is a C. But Altuve right now, he's hit 8 home runs. A lot of folks don't know, but little guy has a big power streak in him here. 17 runs, 8 home runs, and a .419 slugging percentage. When we go down to his K percentage, it's in the green, and green is good. See, when you look at some of these guys, like Adolis Garcia on the other side of things, he's striking out like 34% of the time, and he's in a massive slump right now, but that's no concern of ours. So I'm trying to put it in perspective for you. And you can even scroll down. We go here. Everybody in this game can be found here. Cole Calhoun. Nate Lowe has been awful. Look, he's that double E. You don't want nothing to do with that here. So when we look at Jose Altuve, his ISO is 194. And that's pretty normal. I mean, an ISO right around 200 is kind of, it's almost like a batting average of 300. Everybody talks about if you bat 300 or more in your career, or when you get on a streak here, 300 is the bar. ISO, the bar, last I looked, it's about 200. So Altuve is literally a hit or two away from going over 200. And let's scroll up, even on DraftKings. Look at Yordan Alvarez, his ISO, 278. I'm telling you now, Yordan Alvarez is going to go yard today. I know I already spent the segment on him, but that is what it is. Let's scroll back, and I want to talk about Kyle Tucker. Certainly becoming one of my favorite players in the league from a fantasy perspective and a DFS perspective. Kyle Tucker, 3.7 on FanDuel, and you can see right there, 4.4 on DraftKings against Glenn Otto, who I have a big spiel on. Run, we're done with this broadcast. I'll bring my face back in, so I'm not just some talking head here. But when you look at Kyle Tucker, his value is an A, or excuse me, his projection is an A, and his value tier is a C. Now, in an odd way, if you're using the study hub and you're in a GPP with other folks using a study hub, they'll see, it's green across the board. Alvarez, Altuve, Bregman, Kyle Tucker, everything's an A. But when you look at someone like Kyle Tucker or even Jose Altuve, I'm not kidding. People are fickle when they play DFS. They're going to say, Altuve and Tucker, they're an A plus in the DK tier in terms of that, but they're value tier and they're going to be off of them. So to be fair, there might be just a little bit of leverage. Call me crazy because I am, but there could be a little bit of leverage to be gained just by using the study hub and looking at some of these grades here. Even, Corey Seager, if you wanted to play the single game here. But to me, it's all about Kyle Tucker's DraftKings projection, about 8.7. I think that is is that's his floor tonight is 8.7. Ceiling probably around 30 to 34 with ease here. When we go over, let's look at Tucker's ISO, which you can find right here. I gave you a little lesson, not a lesson, I was just reading it out loud, you know. And Kyle Tucker, look at his ISO, 230. Told you the bar is about 200 because it accounts for, you know, your base hits and what kind of extra base hits they are. So that's it for me. I want to run with Altuve and Bregman, Jordan Alvarez, and Kyle. Here we are back with my face. And thanks for being here. I am Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie. You know the deal. And really quick, I don't want to promise you something and not deliver. I'm going to look over here. I got another screen going. I feel like some multi-millionaire business owner, like a CEO. I got screens everywhere here. When we look at Glenn Otto today, he's taking the mound for Texas. He's got an earned run average of about 6.38. I mean, he's one or two base hits from ballooning up to over 700. I mean, an earned run or two, and bam, he's up to 7-8, and we don't know how far it can go, unfortunately for him. Houston is going to win this game. I'm thinking of a final score like 7-2, 8-2 on the strength of Framber Valdez's arm. This guy's been unbelievable. 2.93 ERA, 32 Ks, and that's my story, and that's what I'm sticking to. So again, until I see you tomorrow on Friday, May 20th, be good. Any questions or comments, you can leave them in the chat here, or you can find me on Discord. Until I see you tomorrow, be good and enjoy your time.